Hello, welcome to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the February general outlook for the sign of Capricorn. All right, Capricorns, you're the last of the February outlooks, the general outlooks, and you're up next. And over the next few days, I will be working on the love outlooks for February, right? So right now, this is the general. So this could really, depending on where the cards, what cards fall out, we could be looking at home life, love life, career, creative endeavors, whatever it is. It is a general outlook. So just remember, this is also just one outlook, right? And it may only even just resonate with one Capricorn out there, So it's really just down to you to take what applies to you, what resonates with you. And if it doesn't, just let it go. It's not for you, Capricorn. All right, and straight out, we have the Magician at the center. Wow, covered with strength. Page of Swords, 5 of Wands, 8 of Wands, 10 of Wands. Wow, a lot of Wands energy. 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, King of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. All right, Capricorn, straight at the bottom, we have 9 of Pentacles, a card that really has been showing up a lot for my readings, anyway, for my collective. So let's get right into it. This is certainly a month of a lot of passions, right? Look at all this Wands energy. A lot of fire in your month, this month. Move this up a little bit. All right, so let's get right into your energy, your center of your month, and your covering, Magician and Strength. Well, Capricorn, what can I say? The Magician is the highest card in the deck for talent and ability, knowing exactly how to use your strengths and your skills to manifest what you're trying to accomplish. You are at the top of your game. The Magician is absolutely at the top of his game in whatever field he's in. Covered with strength. So this month is all about also you being very disciplined, right? Being very sort of focused, putting boundaries in place between you and others so you can remain sort of intentional and strong, so you can maintain your strength, right? The Strength card is associated with Leo energy. But Capricorn, strength is really all about us being strong, being disciplined, right, with ourselves. If we are exhibiting behaviors that are passionate or that are like, jealousy or things like that, baser behaviors that talk to our passions, are we able to have the discipline to realize that and to sort of calm that and to combat that, right? Are we strong enough to put boundaries in place so that others don't sort of cause us to react in ways that we don't want to react, or cause us to trigger some of those deeper sort of baser emotions, right? So 8 is also the number for boundaries and enforcing boundaries with people. So this is your energy this month, right? You're just being extremely disciplined. You're being sort of you're really working on yourself and a lot of your sort of perhaps more passionate tendencies. You're trying to remain focused, certainly, because the Magician also talks about really wanting to manifest something huge, right? Something very important to you. And it takes all of your concentration. It takes all of your ability. So you do need your strength and you do need your discipline and focus to accomplish it. Now, this month you have Page of Swords and 5 of Wands. So this is it's interesting now why I see the Strength card coming in for you, because in the front of your mind, you're focusing on Page of Swords energy, which is really trying to stay positive. Page of Swords is all about sort of trying to maintain a positive outlook, right? Trying to maintain enthusiasm and optimism, not succumbing to sort of self-doubt or succumbing to other people's sort of other people's doubt about you, trying to sort of perhaps cause confusion in you, doubt in yourself, like can you achieve this or not? And so the Page of Swords is very sort of intentional, right? He's very proactive about saying, no, I'm going to remain positive. I'm going to follow my idea. I have a good idea, and I am thinking clearly. In the back of your mind, there's a real power struggle going on, though. There's a 5 of Wands, and there's a real feeling of being in competition with someone else, right? So there is certainly something going on in your life right now that has to do with your talent, that has to do with your ability, where you feel like you're having to compete with someone else, I think. Or it could be that they're making you feel like this is a competition. In any case, in the back of your mind, you have this power struggle going on. And it feels like it is, a power struggle perhaps with those around you, right? Perhaps someone, your peers, your colleagues maybe. This could really be an artist, Capricorn. You may be some kind of artist or person who has to use certain abilities to sort of accomplish tasks that you need to for your career. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like this is for a Capricorn whose career, like whatever profession you're in, it's a profession that requires talent of some level, right? So in a lot of ways, it's going to be something very creative. And even if it on the surface isn't what we would consider an automatically creative field, within that field, you're very creative, right? So for instance, if you are in finance, within the field of finance, though, you have these really creative ideas, these really outlandish ideas, you may be considered a real maverick. And so there is a feeling of competitiveness here in the back of your mind with this Five of Wands, almost as if like you're competing against either someone else or some other concept for who really is the best, right? Because Five of Wands is all about competition. It's all about who's on top. And so it could be, some of you may indeed be this month trying to achieve a particular distinction, right? You may indeed be working up or practicing for an actual sort of competition of some sort, right? With this energy in your field. So this could be a very tangible energy of you working on that, right? If you're working perhaps to secure a grant or a prize or something like that. And so again, this month this is a real sort of month of somebody, a Capricorn out there who's trying to achieve a very important, I would say, creative and career sort of goal or objective. You come into the month with an 8 of Wands, you round it off with a 10 of Wands. So 8 of Wands is a lot of information coming in. A lot of mixed information, a lot of mixed emotions as well. So there seems to be a lot of chaos around you at the beginning of the month. Again, it seems to remind me of you sort of ramping up for this competition that's going on here, right? So it feels like a lot of eyes are on you, a lot of information is coming in. This is another 8. So 8 of Wands, again, with the 8 major arcana, we talk about the need, again, for setting boundaries, right? So that you can remain focused, so you can pay attention to the information that's coming in that's important to pay attention instead of being overwhelmed by everything. By the end of the month, you're ready to let go a lot of this pressure. This also feels like a lot of pressure coming into you from people around you. Again, it speaks to the idea of this being a reading for a Capricorn that is really going to be in some kind of competition or in some kind of event this February that requires, that brings with it a lot of attention, a lot of pressure to perform or to succeed at a high level here, right? Again, strength is coming in. Some of you are training, if training in some kind of way for this or practicing in some kind of way. So there's a lot of chaos and anxiety at the beginning of the month, but it's okay because by the end of the month, you let go of all of that. You're ready to let go of all of that. It's become too much. And you kind of really come out of this, right? I think you find your feet and you're ready to sort of lay down any self-doubt that you have. 10 of Wands is the card for oppression, but it's also the card for when we're ready to lay down the oppression. So when we're ready to sort of let go of all the pressures that we've been allowing to affect us, or let go to whatever kind of idea or behavior or mode of thinking that we've been holding on to that's been affecting us. It's letting go of that. And so I think by the end of the month, a lot of you, like I said, are going to be feeling very confident, finding your feet. Certainly you won't have the same nerves that you had at the beginning of the month with this 8 of Wands. So now you come into the month with this attitude of a 4 of Cups, and 9 of Cups is what comes towards you. So 4 of Cups is interesting. This is your attitude that you have towards everything that's going on this month. And it's like you don't want any help from anyone. 4 of Cups is usually, can be interpreted a lot of ways. But in this particular reading, I feel that it's you. There are people around you, friends or family, whomever, who are trying to sort of reach out and help you, and you're being very sort of like, nope, I don't need it. I don't want any help. I'm trying to accomplish this all by myself. Excuse me. And that's all well and good if that is truly the case. But if in your heart of hearts you know that you do need the help, then you should be careful with this energy, because sometimes you can be so rigid and obstinate that you think you're maintaining your stability, but in fact you're about to lose your stability because you're not relying on the help that's around you that you actually need right now. So take care with that. Just make sure, because a lot of times this offer of help is not accepted because sometimes we don't think it's genuine. Sometimes we just don't think we need it. But a lot of times the cup does come from someone in your life who cares for you and who is extremely genuine, right? Now, this is the attitude you have, and it's funny because the energy that comes towards you as a result, Nine of Cups. There's someone in your life who's quite happy. They have already a certain level of achievement under their belt. And it's interesting because I think that they are trying to sort of be very lighthearted with you. There's a real, they seem to have like, I want to say that they may even be a bit of a mentor, or they may be at your level, but they have already achieved a certain amount of success, right? They've already achieved a certain amount of accolades, perhaps, right? They've already had a certain extra level of experience in whatever this is that you're doing. And although you're not willing to help, some of you with this Four of Cups, it's like you're not willing to accept much help from anybody. This person is still kind of there. They're still kind of watching over you. And they're very sort of positive about it. They bring a real sense of positivity with them, regardless of how sort of I want to say Capricorn, obtuse you may be being, or just generally obstinate, right? And ultimately, I do think you're going to end up accepting perhaps some of their help if you need it, because they're there for you, and they're kind of just like keeping an eye on you, They're kind of watching. You may be friends with this person, it's maybe somebody you've known for a really long time, or somebody that you've recently met. But in any case, they are certainly going to feel, even if they don't feel like a mentor, they're going to feel to you like somebody who's really achieved a certain level of happiness and success with the same sort of thing that you're doing. And they certainly have some wisdom to impart. But I guess for you, Capricorn, it's really just like getting over, just getting over, maybe it's embarrassment, or maybe, being more humble, to just accept that maybe sometimes you do need the help. It could just be, the fact that you're being fiercely independent, Capricorn. You are fiercely independent, and you like to achieve things on your own. And that's all well and good, like I said. But whatever the case may be, it is a feeling of eventually saying, they're kind of waiting for you to sort of break down and eventually allow them in so that they can just help you tweak a few things, because of course they see that you have a lot of potential. Now, your hopes and dreams and your fears. Your hope and dream, King of Pentacles, of course, is a position of authority, it's success. And I think this is where you want to see yourself, right? King of Pentacles is very Taurus energy, your sister sign Capricorn, but it is certainly the person who has reached the pinnacle, right? They're at the top of their career. They certainly have had a track record for success. They understand the nature of manifesting, material sort of dreams and goals. This is somebody who has a lot of money. A lot of times this is somebody who is definitely a benefactor or an investor or a mentor in some way as far as career or business is concerned. And this is the level you want to see yourself at. And I think you're working towards that right now with this endeavor that you have for February. Whatever is happening in February is really calling upon you to bring your best game, your best discipline, your best focus, and your enthusiasm. And you ran off your month with a Wheel of Fortune, so it is definitely a time where fate is favoring you, Capricorn, and a lot of really wonderful opportunities are certainly coming in your way. Nine of Pentacles indicates rewards coming in. I think you are definitely already going to be experiencing a certain level of reward, finance coming in, increasing financial stability coming in, increasing rewards, right? You're certainly moving forward with this objective And certainly, if it is a career or business objective, it's definitely moving forward. If it is, like I said before, some kind of competitive, some kind of creative thing that you do and that you're in a real competition, or that you're seeking to sort of win something like a title or an investment or money or a grant or what have you, whatever the case may be, there's some sort of competitive or some sort of sort of testing involved, right? I guess it's more like in a testing phase. You definitely begin to, as being part of it though, you're still beginning to get money coming in with that Nine of Pentacles. There's still money comes in, rewards come in. You definitely increase your level of financial stability and abundance. Ultimately, you desire to be the King of Pentacles, which is to be the best, to reach the top, to win the best award or what have you. But certainly the wheel is beginning to turn in your favor if you haven't had success up until now, because it begins to come in regardless. Even if you don't reach this King of Pentacles just yet, you certainly reach this Nine of Pentacles, which is a very nice place to be. Nine of Pentacles is a real sort of comfortable status, comfortable finances, comfortable social status. You know, you have everything you need. You know, and it generally comes in after a long, hard time of working. You know, a lot of hard work coming in. So let's pull your clarifiers. Certainly the Wheel of Fortune is going to make you feel in February like everything is sort of operating the way it's supposed to, right? Like this is all very much like a destiny situation for you. There's the universe, even more of that energy. Here's another 8. So here we have another 8 of Cups. Interesting. So 8, 8, 8, third 8, 14, Temperance energy, and the Knight of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, we have 7 of Cups. All right, so let's go right around these clarifiers for you. Here at the top, again, like I said, with that Wheel of Fortune, by the end of the month, you're going to be feeling like, you know, you are everything is happening in a very fated and destined way, because really good opportunities for you are going to suddenly come in. And whenever good opportunities come and the wheel is turning for us, it feels very much like we're being blessed with these golden opportunities, right? Well, the universe is the same way. In a lot of ways, the universe comes in, this energy. This is why you're feeling very enthusiastic and optimistic this month, because you definitely feel like you are where you're supposed to be. Right? You know your talents with this Magician. You know you can do this. You know you can accomplish this. And you know you're on the right path, right? And you got this, you know. And the universe really does give you this feeling of making you realize that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in your life journey, right? And that's a sense of confidence that can really help you increase this sort of Page of Swords energy of being very positive, not allowing any doubt or negativity or self-esteem issues sort of slow you down. In the back of your mind, you have another 8 of Cups. And so 8 major arcana, 8 of Wands. Again, 8 is the number for strength and putting boundaries in place. Well, 8 of Cups is very much a case of wanting to leave behind a certain level of engagement with people that just doesn't serve you anymore. You're just too good for it, right? It's like you see the lotus blossoms, they're like pouring all their love into these really cheap sort of cups. They look like they're made out of just cheap metal, broken handles, and they're chipped and everything. And it's just like you feel like you want to rise above, right? And this is the same thing, this competitive feeling that you have in the back of your mind. It's like you really want to set yourself apart from the rest, right? You feel like you have so much more to give. And right now, the level that you're at, your talent is almost being wasted. And for a lot of you, you are purposely wanting to resonate higher. A lot of times, sorry about that background noise outside. A lot of times, it's funny when the noises come in, depending on the reading. A lot of times, the 8 of Cups can indicate a desire to leave romantic or love relationships that are shallow behind. But this is also just in general a feeling of, certainly now when we're talking about like something that you're doing creatively and competitively, and, you know, with regard to this outlook, right, for this reading, it feels strongly like you are, yes, you are in this competitive mode because you want to sort of set yourself apart. You want to raise your bar. You want to go, it's like going from amateur to the professionals, right? You no longer want to be dealing with amateurs. You want to be dealing with professionals now. And it's the same, and the 8 of Cups talks about that, you know, feeling like it's time that you realize and you make an effort, an intentional decision to engage at a higher level. And this can really apply, again, to anything that you're doing. Certainly if you're doing something creatively, if you're doing something with regard to your career, right? It can just be like a feeling of wanting to sort of, be at a higher level in terms of, the material that you're using or the work that you're doing, the tasks that you're trying to achieve or the objectives that you have. You know what I mean? It's ambitious, right? So here we have with the Eight of Wands, transformation or art, 14, which is of course the card for temperance in the Thoth deck, right? So temperance energy, it's associated again with Sagittarius energy. But temperance is really good at a time like this when, like I said to you at the beginning of the month, there's a lot of information coming in that can cause a lot of anxiety. There are a lot of people sort of just giving you their 2 cents. There seems to be a lot of chaotic energy happening around you. And temperance is perfect at a time like this to exercise Capricorn so that you can be calm, so that you're not reacting to all of this. Temperance is all about having the strength to not allow outside energies or influences to make you react, right? So when you're being very tempered, you're always sort of measuring yourself. You're just, you have enough control over yourself and you understand yourself well enough that people aren't able to push your buttons. They aren't able to make you react. And so it's kind of being able to stay calm when there's a lot of chaos around you. That's the ability that temperance brings. And so this is what you want to be doing in the beginning of the month, certainly to deal with some of that chaos. And by the end of the month, 10 of Wands, like I said, you're going to really be finding your feet and feeling much more comfortable. You do have a Knight of Cups energy coming in. So it certainly feels, again, here, like I said, there's this energy of you not wanting to accept the help from anybody. Again, it feels like here, Knight of Cups, there is somebody coming in who kind of wants to give you their cup. They want to help you or they want to get closer to you. Right? It could be that this person here who's wanting to help you is trying to do that because they're also trying to get closer to you romantically. And you may not be picking up the signals, and that could be another reason why you're not taking their cup of love right now. Because with this Knight of Cups coming in to clarify the situation, there's definitely somebody in February, Capricorn, who wants more from you or who wants to get closer to you for some reason. And it makes a lot of sense now if I go back to Nine of Cups that this could also be the person that we're talking about. This person is very happy. They understand you. But they firmly have their eye on you. Remember I said earlier, there seems to be someone here who's just watching you. They're ready for you when you are. It could very well be that this is your Knight of Cups who's also themselves very happy, been very blessed. They've, like I said, perhaps have the same career or path or activity that you're involved in here with this magician energy, this task that you're trying to achieve, right? If you're both, gymnasts, or if you're both artists, if you're both painters, or if you're both architects, or whatever it is, or you're scientists, whatever that path is, it seems like this person resonates with that. And that could certainly be, like I said, your Knight of Cups, someone who has their eye on you. And you're not, maybe because you're doing so much work on your career right now, you're being sort of so disciplined right now, you may not be realizing that this is why they're kind of coming towards you, because they want to get closer. One thing with the Nine of Pentacles, Capricorn, is that somebody resonates with this sort of ambitious energy like this. Oftentimes they are a little bit alienated from deeper relationships because they either don't see them, they either don't have time for them. It's something about their ambitious level that doesn't make room for it, or it could just be that their financial and social status has alienated them because they make a lot of money. Whatever the case may be, this is usually someone who is quite alienated and alone with their sort of reward and their money. And I'm not saying that that is you, Capricorn, but I am saying that there's a hint of that there. And it could be down here, that when this person, while you're doing all this work in February, when this one particular person is trying to get close to you, you may be missing the cues, you may be missing the signs, and you may be thinking that by saying no, you're being very sort of professional and stuff, but you may actually be hurting their hearts a little bit because they're trying to sort of get to know you, right? But maybe they're just doing it more through work or through you know, helping in some way rather than just coming right out. But they could certainly indeed be this Knight of Cups. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. This is your February general outlook for Capricorn. It's a mixed bag of someone who's engaging in some kind of competitive event, contest of some sort, or trying to win something this month, really set themselves apart within their field. Excuse me, keep coughing. Somebody who may be certainly dealing with something very creative. And some in a Capricorn who is also in February maybe having a love connection coming in that they may be misreading some cues and need to pay attention to. If there is someone there that they also like and may not be realizing what's happening. And that's about it. So if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to leave me a comment. Hit the bell for notification. Follow the links at the top of your screen for a private reading. You can always email me about a private reading as well, and I can always respond to you in an email with the links and schedule you in manually. All right, guys, but for right now, I just want you to have a wonderful February, and I'll see you next month for your general outlook. Bye-bye now.